You know, every now and then you come across a game of questionable premise. Whether it be about a cheerleader killing zombies with her decapitated boyfriend, a group of assassins who may just be one man with dissociative identity disorder, I'm still not entirely sure, or even a game about an elder god forced to become the savior of the earth in order to regain his powers. But then there's Viva Pinata. Released for the Xbox 360 in late 2006, this title managed to garner favorable reviews all around, along with managing to sell over 1.5 million units overall. In fact, this game even managed a spin-off TV show on 4Kids. But, of course, that was 6 years ago, and as I'm sure you all know, some games just don't hold up very well over the years. This clip is the cue to begin typing your hate mail. So, what are my thoughts on this venture into the world of sentient piñatas? Well, let's hop right in and find out. This game takes place in a mythical land in which the resident creatures are piñatas. These piñatas are raised in the wild and are groomed to be used for children's birthday parties. Afterwards, they are re-released back into the wild, good as new. Now, I don't know about you, but every time I've destroyed a piñata, they don't tend to be in very good shape, but what do I know? This game begins with you being gifted a plot of land. Now, this plot may not look like much initially, but with a little TLC, you may see some potential. Right off the bat, you're given a shovel, grass seeds, and a watering can. Soon, you will begin to attract various forms of piñatas. Each piñata has a different requirement for when they appear, if they visit your garden, if they become a resident, or, once they do become a resident, if they are able to romance. As you begin to build and customize your garden, you will begin to see new piñatas spring up. For instance, if you have a large pond area, then you will begin to see frog, duck, beaver, or even dragonfly type piñatas show up. If you have large grasslands, then you may begin to see deer or horse type piñatas show up. Hell, if you manage to have a monkey nut tree, then monkeys will begin to show up. On the other hand, some piñatas may only be lured into your garden if there are other piñatas for them to feast upon. Once you have two piñatas of the same species in your garden, then you may begin to breed them. Each piñata has different requirements needed for them to breed, or romance as it's called in this game. Ranging from eating a specific flower, fruit, or other piñata, to having a certain amount of grassland or water, to even their apparel. So essentially what you are doing is this. Once romance is initiated, you get to play a minigame, which must be completed for successful mating. These minigames have you guide the piñata through a maze of explosive edges toward their prospective lover, while attempting to pick up coins on the way. The more valuable the piñata is, the more difficult these games become, even going so far as to have invisible edges in some minigames, which can only be seen at the expense of making the clock count down faster. If you are successful, then these piñatas go back to their respective home and do their mating dance. You heard me. This is the time to appreciate the wonders of nature. Alright, your time's up. As you continue to improve your garden, you'll attract higher level piñatas, along with upgrades to your tools. But, as they say, with great power comes great problems. I'm not entirely sure who says that, but they do say it. You'll begin to notice as your garden gains more prestige that you will attract sour piñatas. These piñatas will cause all sorts of trouble for you and your resident creatures. From dropping poisonous candy, which will make your piñatas ill if consumed, to starting fights with your residents, to even harming your hired workers and flat out killing your piñatas at higher levels. But these piñatas can become residents if you have the skill to meet their requirements, and tend to be of the more valuable caliber if you manage to pull it off. If you can't pull it off, well, not to worry, as you could purchase individual pieces of a totem pole, which will keep them away for good. Then there are the ruffians. I hate these bastards. These jerks will come into your garden occasionally and do things such as harm your piñatas, fill your beautiful ponds with dirt, and even flat out murder your piñatas and destroy the buildings which you spent a massive amount of time and money to build. Personally, I would like to shoot these bastards on sight for trespassing, destruction of property, and cruelty to animals and my staff, But considering this game is rated E for everyone, you'll just have to stick to bribing them. Speaking of staff, let's move on to the local villagers. As you level up, you'll begin to meet the locals. These people can be visited at any time, and usually have something to sell you. There is of course the general store owner, a lady who sells rare piñatas and accessories to make your current piñatas look more flamboyant than they already are, a hunter who will catch piñatas if you're having trouble luring them into your garden, the local builder who builds various homes for your garden, the postwoman who will send gifts to your friends via Xbox Live, assuming any of your friends still play this, a local inn where you can hire workers for your garden, the local doctor who can heal your piñatas for a price, and then there's a specialty shop that you can unlock by helping a poor beggar that is down on his luck. There are a total of 60 different piñatas that may inhabit your garden, and the ability to change your garden at will gives this game a very large amount of playability, not to mention replay value if you ever feel the need to start from scratch. And now for the reviewing. Let's start with the graphics. This game is beautiful. Not only is there a surprising amount of detail put into the piñatas themselves, which can be seen by zooming in on them, but despite the fact that you are limited to your garden most of the time, even the grass, plants, and water have a very vibrant and peaceful look to them. But even aside from this, the general background, which houses the resident piñatas of the island, is very detailed and shows a great variety despite its small scale. Moving on to the gameplay, well, considering this is a sandbox game, this aspect works well enough. You can pull up any item you need through a convenient menu, and the purchasing and/or selling items and piñatas flows extremely smoothly due to most of the commands being hotkeyed. So, in conclusion, what is my recommendation for this title? Well, when I initially saw this game released early in the Xbox 360's lifespan, I thought it was just an attempt to appeal to the younger/family audience. And considering there's a video in the main menu consisting of the piñatas explaining how parental controls work, I may have been justified in that thought. But that by no means makes this game bad. In fact, if you like sandbox games along the vein of titles such as Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing, or even Spore, then I would definitely recommend checking out this game. If you're interested, this game can be found very easily for around $10. So until next time, this has been E-Dog saying, Viva Piñata! See you next time.